YouTube? It is I, Sakarma, coming at you with some one-on-one action from the, well, not from the Queen of the Throne DLC, well, from the Queen of the Throne DLC, but it's just regular times, everyone's got it. As I said in the earlier video, I'm no longer special, and how it still wounds me. Anyways, so I'm heading the Dark Elves, and I'm against LIG Samurai, who's heading the Norsca. So it's going to be a fun little matchup, one we haven't seen, a lot of units we haven't seen before. At least I haven't seen before, so I brought the Supreme Sorceress on a shadow of Shadow lore. I just want to bring her. I mean, here's the thing: Malekith is almost always a better option. He just has more armor. She does have a pretty crazy physical resist, though. I thought she did. No, I lied. Why did I see that earlier? Maybe it's a spell. Anyways, pardon me. So you're almost always better bringing Malekith. He's just a better lord. He can heal himself. He has magic. He can do damage. Pardon me again. He has those abilities. Man, I'm a burphammer today. And of course he has Gaze of Malice. So I mean, Malekith is almost always better than her, and pretty much. And dark magic is quite a good lore. But I figured bring her. Why not? See what she's like. You know, just to change it up a bit. Then I brought a line of spearmen. One of them being the Hellabrone. The Hellabrone. Don't get it wrong. They are very particular about their pronunciation. And of course, the Ladies of the Whips, the BDSM unit of Warhammer. They don't wear shirts. They don't wear pants. But they'll give you a licking with those whips. So yeah, they're the BDSM unit of Warhammer with those funky masks and those cool little shields. And yeah, they're pretty cool. And they do some good damage here. They have nutso stats. I mean, 60 melee defense is out of control. Of course, they only have 5. Oh, that's going to be annoying. We're going to stop that, guys. We're going to close that down, and we're going to... Oh, I was reading about Blue Gulvich, guys. Look at that. Anyways, so yeah, so they have crazy melee attack, sorry, melee defense. They do poison. Really, really good stats. They're one of the new units, of course. And then I also brought... where are they? Where are our buddies? Oh, these guys we have not seen before, I don't think, because they were glitched in our earlier build, so they're okay now. So we have these guys who look really fantastic. I just love the way they look. You're going to love the way they look, kid. But yeah, so these guys are the Raven Heralds. Of course, they're flying, armor piercing, damage. 115 range is pretty good. 16 ammo could be better. But other than that, just, you know, very versatile unit. Very fast, can be good for diving in on skirmisher units. And of course, they'll be able to whittle down larger targets and armored targets. We have Slaanesha's Harvesters. We all know about them. We got a couple of Dark Riders, which were probably a bad pick in this matchup in retrospect. I've got Cold One Knights over here. Right away after the battle, I get a charge into his wolves with the Beast of Tashnar with the Dark Riders, but he follows it up with a Norsca Warhound to come and support. So that's all you're missing right now, and that's my army. A couple of Dark Riders and the Cold One Knights. So what do we got on this side? So we've got WOLF-Ric the Wanderer. He's a wandering alongside Marauders. Those are 3 units of Berserkers, one being the Brutes of the Hound variety. He's got a Famir Balefiend of Shadows, so shadow on shadow magic. He brought pretty much the same kit I did. Melkoff's. I didn't bring Melkoff's. I couldn't afford it, so I left Melkoff so I could bring another unit of Gladiators. Sisters of Battle, rather. So he has the Peninsula Predator, Infielding Foe, and Melkoff's. He's got 1 Marauder Javelin. He's got 1 Marauder Hunter. And he's got the Mods of Sadri over here, and the Norscan Ice Wolves. And of course, what is this called? A Frostworm. That's right. What's this guy's stats about? First of all, split heads. Pretty cool. Everyone loves that. Is one like stunted? No, just split heads. So funky Chaos Dragon, or Crass Worm in this point. At this in this case, so he's got Chilling Aura, Causes Terror, all good stuff. 450 armor piercing. Stats aren't fantastic. Will almost certainly lose in one-on-one combat to my dragon, which just has better stats overall. But still, not a bad little unit. All right, and with that, let's get the battle rolling. So right away, he gets me caught here, but I'm gonna send my Cold One Knights, who will be able to pretty much trash these Beasts of Tashnar, as well as do some good damage to these Norscan Warhounds. I am also sending my dragon here to ward off his dragon, and then I have these Dark Riders to help fire off in some of his units. On the back here, we are trying to get some damage on his Skin Wolves. Unfortunately, they do heal, so this is kind of a waste of ammo, but I was hoping I might be able to pick off a unit. In retrospect, it was a mistake. It's doing decent damage considering how few models there are, but yeah. Over here, the dragons come in, and I was about to hit his dragon, and I can actually get a nice hit, but he does get me with WOLF-Ric's ability, and I dive in for a moment, but I'm like, nah, that's a big mistake, so I decided to pull out. I should have kept my my Cold One Knights on his dragon, but I decided against it. Now our pardon me, we've engaged here in the front line, so my spearmen are going to get charged by his units, which are far better. I'm going to send in my Sisters of Slaughter. They get kind of pulled away. I don't know what happened there. That's weird. I probably sent them to fight this unit. But yeah, so they're getting sandwiched. That's not a good pack for them. He does a pretty unfortunate Prenjum Prembra. That must just have been a misclick, because it would have been devastating if he had hit on. if he had been right on, but he missed it, and I saw that, and I was like, ooh, that sucks, and I was like, I'll show you how it's done, kid. And then I'm going to cast a Benevolent Blunder right there, just to, you know, insult to injury right through the line. So that's just a good, nice, good damage here. We're in the back line here. We're going to try and get some shots on his skirmishers. Over here, my Cold One Knights are fighting all his ranged, or his mobile units, rather. WOLF-Ric is trying to chase off my Dark Riders. How fast is WOLF-Ric? 78, so I don't know how he's managed to keep up, but yeah, so they've done a good job over here. They got, I think, a breath attack in there and then a charge, and that's pretty much going to send those guys home. Meanwhile, I'm doing some dive bombing with my dragon. We do get a couple hits on here. I should have sent one unit to attack there. That was a mistake, but yeah, what can you do? I send them back there to rectify that problem very quickly. WOLF-Ric is, you know, getting shot at. He's getting, you know, shot by these Dark Riders and hit by these Raven the Heralds. One of my Dark Riders Repair Cosmos was chased off the map here in the corner. And actually, we're both going to forget that unit for a long time. He does bring WOLF-Ric in here, but this is what I like about the Shadow, the Sorceress of Shadow. Well, I mean, you could do just as well with... She does have Arcane Conduit, which is something that Malekith does not have. But one thing she can do that Malekith can't is she has Enfeebling Foe. Even though he does have Word of Pain, Enfeebling Foe is a little bit better. And so now this guy's got Soul Stealer cast on him by these Slaanesh Harvesters. He's got Enfeebling Foe. I get a nice dive bomb in there, and you just see him melt so quickly. It's just not a good fight for him at all. He's going to cast the Hunter of Champions, whatever it's called. Yeah, Hunter of Champions, but it's not going to be enough. I mean, he's reducing my melee attack, but he's getting damaged so quickly. He does send in his Norsca Warhounds here to help support the battle, but it's not going to be enough to save WOLF-Ric. He's going to be sent off the field. Pardon me. We get a lot of good shots on the Frostworm, and I'm trying to kill these Norsca Warhounds because I know they'll chase these guys off if I don't. Yeah, they're really aggressively pathing after my Supreme Sorceress, and that's not a fight she wants to be in, with the Maws of Savagery rather, and the Frostworms. So I'm really just trying to, you know, get some damage done on the dragon, but every hit is just so damaging. I am going to charge these guys in there. So I charged these guys. I was going to charge those guys back into them, but I decided, you know what, I got to save my Sorceress. So I got a nice dive bomb in the back. It's not to do damage, it's just to muck them up. And he's going to keep passing through. I don't know what happened there. I don't know why they didn't charge. Weird. But I told them to charge multiple times, maybe because they were on skirmish mode, so they ran it back. But there we go. So I get some nice charges in there, get them to dodge. I'm able to sort of pull back now. And then I have this giant infantry corps. Surprisingly, my infantry corps won the fight. Of course, the Brutes of the Hound are unbreakable, so they will continue to fight. But my infantry corps was able to hold out, even with the spearmen and these Sisters of Battle, so Sisters of Slaughter rather. So they're no joke. Over here, there's some cleanup going on the left flank. WOLF-Ric is returned with a little bit of health. But yeah, so we've got them in a big little ball, which I don't mind, because I want to try and, you know, protect my ranged units. That's huge. So he's gonna get these Beasts of Tashnar into my cav, but I'm gonna catch them with my dragon, and they're gonna just tear right off the field. So that's a big move for me. These guys I should have took off Fire at Will because I need to conserve that ammo. But what can you do? So over here, you know, this is a good fight for us. It's a bunch of spears, and it's the Sister of Slaughter I'm going to send after these Brutes of the Hound to prevent them from getting into my spears. He's going to start casting Melkoffs and stuff like that to help finish the battle. I do a horrible breath attack, which ends up wiping out a ton of my units. It was such a bad idea. I should have just dive bombed. That was really, really, really poor play on my part. A really, really bad breath attack. Just ended up doing a lot more damage to me than to him. My opponent, rather. 2018. Anyways, so I bring these guys in. I'm thinking, okay, things aren't looking terrible. I mean, a lot of my infantry corps is dead, but I still have a lot of ranged fire. And the second this guy comes into the air, I'm going to smoke him with my dragon. So there's not a whole lot he can do. He's going to try and get onto my Ravens of the Herald, but I'm going to see that, and I'm going to bring my Sorceress to come support. And I'm going to make sure these guys are alive. Reposition them in the back line so they won't get chased off. I'm going to have them firing on these Norsca Warhounds. He gets a nice breath attack in there, and he's going to charge at them. But there just comes an Enfeebling Foe, and I'm just trying to shoot these guys to death so they don't get a good hit on my Dark Riders, which are going to be very important for the rest of the game. Over here, the Supreme Sorceress is getting some rear attacks on this Frostworm, and if you know anything about this Supreme Sorceress, when she comes up the rear, it is not gentle. It is not forgiving, and it is not generous. It is a horrifying just grasp of darkness that reaches into your back and pulls out all that you hold dear, and that's what she's done to this dragon. She's eviscerated it, and it is dead now. Over here, he's got a pretty decently healthy core of units, and this is really what's really important, is that he has this Norscan Ice Wolves that are going to be able to chase these guys down. And my opponent is very smart. He's aggressively passed them after these guys the whole time. I should have put my dragon down right away, and I actually did, but she goes this way. I tell her to attack, and she goes this way, and that really bummed me out, because that was a huge play. I told her to charge, and she charges, she goes that way, and then she charges back. So really silly move. And I know I can't escape them, so I'm just like, alright, might as well fight, I have no choice. Hopefully I can rout those guys fast enough. Meanwhile, over here I'm using the last bit of ammunition I have to try and kill WOLF-Ric, who has very little health, 299. They missed all those shots, but maybe one day they'll hit. Over here, these wolves are just unfortunately not fleeing. I was hoping they would tear a route, but they're being very, very tough, and I think these guys are going to rout before. I tried to run them away, but that was ending up being a bad idea because it increased them. It made them seem as if they were winning, and it made them seem as if they were losing, so they started to retreat, and that was just bad for me. Over here, I've hidden my Hellebroni in the woods. No reason to have them out yet, and I'm just trying to get these kills on these wolves, but it's just not going great for me. WOLF-Ric is now gone. He's off the field. He will come back right on the edge, and then I'll have to go, waste some time chasing him down. But what can you do? He's at this point, he's useless. I mean, except for his buffs and abilities, at 299, it's an easy kill. I am really, again, trying to aggressively rid myself of these Norsca Ice Wolves, but it is proving more difficult than I anticipated. I mean, Warhounds will flee rather quickly. Ice Wolves will not. They will remain and fight. Their leadership isn't as bad, or at least it does not seem as bad in my brief experience fighting them. Over here I get a nice charge in with these Dark Riders, and I get some Hellebroni in there, so we should be able to kill these Marauders, but it's not the greatest matchup. Okay, we're able to shatter WOLF-Ric, which is big, and basically it's just my dragon is all I've got left, but she is quite healthy. She does have a few thousand health hit points left, 3,000, so that's not bad at all. He's going to try and get a nice round on these spearmen, but again, I get this charge into these wolves, and they just won't flee. Like, I just can't get rid of them. I think they started off with 24 models, so I actually they have not lost a model. I am going to send these guys to get a nice rear charge in and just try and break their morale. Yeah, and I don't know. They're running away now, so that's going to be a nice rear charge for us. And the dragon's still fighting there, causing terror. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. I think I casted. I don't know what I probably got Arcane Conduit, so I'm getting more magic here. And yeah, I just can't seem to get rid of these guys. Eventually they do flee here. I think it's yeah, they get terrified, which is huge, and they start to rout. So I said, okay, chase them off. Ravens of the Herald, you guys have 110 speed. Get them off the field. This is all they have left. I have a couple of breath attacks left. I have a lot of magic. I should be okay. So I send these guys to chase them off. And I want to bring my dragon here to start doing some damage, because I don't want the battle to be going on forever. But these Ice Wolves are going to come back, and then they're going to kill my guys. They're going to come back. I thought they were being chased off, but no, and then they're just going to murder them in 2 seconds flat. And that's pretty much the end of the game. I mean, my dragon, it doesn't have enough damage. I catch my opponent here with a Plunging Perundra, a little bit of damage here, which is, pretty useful. I have a lot of magic left. And I'm going to get a nice breath attack here on these guys. Let's see here. He tries to dodge, but we get a nice hit, does a lot of damage, and they're ready to leave. So I'm going to charge in and, route them off the field. And I thought, okay, we have a chance, but as this was happening, I lost my Ravens of the Herald, who weren't able to chase off these Ice Wolves. I was so bummed out. Yeah, if they had chased them off, I think I would have won this match. But as you can guess from my tone of voice, it's not going to end well for Sakarma here. And then, of course, since this was the last unit on the field, I actually lost the taskbar, so I couldn't cast any more spells. And I had a lot of magic left, so that was a huge bummer. I was able to cast one more spell before it goes away, but yeah, that was pretty killer. And yeah, if I'd saved that breath that killed my own units, would have been able to do. If I had one more breath here, and that guy was gone, and I had those units back, it would have been. I think we could have won this, but unfortunately, without the magic and without those units, it's going to go down as a Sakarma defeat. And I was pretty bummed out. I cast Enfeebling Foe there, but she's just not doing enough damage. Again, with and I don't think she's the most competitive lord, but I wanted to try her out. She's still not bad, of course. She's still a good lord, but yeah, she's not as good as Malekith. Anyways, and that'll be all she wrote. So, murder she wrote. Murder she wrote. So what do we see here? So I think the Ravens of the Herald aren't bad. Ravens of the Herald, rather. The Raven Heralds are not a bad unit. They do quite a bit of damage. They can be quite useful in the right situation. Of course, armor piercing, mobility, speed. Those are all very, very, very good things to have on your side. What would I have changed in my build? I think Dark Riders are really pointless in this matchup, only because they lose so poorly to Norscan Ice Wolves. It's not even close, and it's not worth it to get the harass because you're not that concerned about Norscan ranged. So I think Dark Riders I would have dropped. I would have brought another Cold One Knight, and I think if I just played a little bit better, it would have been a victory for me. And also, if I hadn't, those guys been able to chase off those wolves, I think it would have been a different story. But what can you do? Things happen. GG to LIG Samurai Warrior. It was a very hectic battle. Very, very well played on his part. He did all the right things. He got rid of my Dark Riders immediately. That was very good on him. Or at least one of the units, he got them off with those Ice Wolves, and my other cav was on the left flank to support. So, sorry, they weren't there to support. And in terms of his build, yeah, I don't mind it. I think it could have gone. I mean, you're almost always better bringing large units instead of a dragon. I wouldn't have brought a dragon if I was Norsca. Pardon me, it's just not worth it. You're not going to win that aerial fight against the Dark Elves. I would have brought a couple of Hamir Warriors, stuff like that. Pardon me. They just have more utility, I think, in this matchup. But otherwise, good GG to LIG Samurai Warrior. I look forward to our rematch. I will hold you in grudge. The YouTubers will know me well that I love the Nemesis system. So that's a little inside joke, guys. But we'll elaborate on it. We'll make it a meme. You'll see. It'll come out. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hope to see you around the bend.